Action.
Action.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello and welcome to the waiting room.
Time for?
Time for news.
It is.
Time for the news.
I like the last news session we did, actually.
We got a lot of really nice comments about the last news section, which was really like a nice thing to hear because, Japan has some pretty interesting news bits and it's fun to talk about them. So
some
today,
more interesting than others, some pretty funny.
I think today we're going to go national news, local news, just talk some more about the news.
We got some interesting tidbits for you.
Yeah.
Everything from student-teacher smackdown.
Teacher smack.
Geishas of Kyoto telling you to go get be gone. That doesn't make sense, does it?
Go get be gone.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yep. And poo from above. We'll get into that shit situation. But anyway.
But our top story tonight. Our top story tonight.
Top story or first story?
Is there a difference?
I don't know.
I think in like newsy lingo, isn't like top story just like the first story? Like I don't know.
First story for tonight.
Our first story tonight. Take it away.
Student-teacher smackdown.
Teacher
Let's
smackdown.
get ready to rumble. Okay, so where was this happening? In Osaka, in the
Of course.
Kawachi Nagano Municipal Middle School. A teacher and a student got a bit fisticuffs.
Why?
But why?
Who instigated the fisticuffs?
Who do you think?
I hope it was the student and not the teacher.
Okay, well,
I hope.
this happened actually, I think it was in January, but I came across it recently. So I thought, this is kind of interesting news anyway. So I'll get into it. During a break between classes, a third-year student, so they got here 14 or 15 years old, called a 38-year-old male teacher by the name of an anime character because of the similarities in their physique.
So a 15-year-old boy, stupid, calls a 38-year-old male teacher, also stupid, the name of an anime character because they have a similar physique. I want to know, did they name the character?
They didn't. They said the exact name. I'm just trying to imagine what it could be. So the exact name of the teen, the exact name the teen called the teacher hasn't been publicly stated, but it wasn't intended to be a compliment, apparently.
Okay.
According to Osaka Prefectural Board of Education, implying the teacher was likely either obese, gaunt, or short.
Aren't obese and gaunt kind of like opposite?
Separate, yeah. Or is it like a look maybe as well to go?
Maybe like a sallow kind of face?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, when the student called the teacher by the name of the characters the second time, so apparently not the first time he's done it, the educator became enraged,
God.
grabbing the teen by the front of his shirt, shoving to the ground and punching him in the side of the torso and head near the temple.
Oh my God.
So he went full on nuts.
What?
Yeah.
Just rage. Why? Dude, it's like it's a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah.
He doesn't know any better. And you're the teacher. This teacher is the same age as I am. That would be like me punching a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah.
That's not right. Even if they do call you a stupid anime name.
Well, because this wasn't the first time things got physical between the two. In May of 2023, the incident occurred in which the teacher put the same student he'd later punch into a light headlock.
What is a light headlock?
I don't know. Maybe it's just on
Just
yeah,
not really like
not
putting
really.
any power into the elbow.
Not trying to put him to sleep. Just
What? And they didn't like do anything because of it?
well, with the punch up here, we got he's seeing the teacher raining blows on one of the students. Other students informed the teacher of the school what happened.
Jesus.
The teen suffered light bruises, did not require hospitalization, thank God. And the teacher has since apologized to both him and the parents, saying, "I was unable to control my anger and did something inexcusable to a student." Yeah. So, teacher was docked 10% of his pay for 3 months.
Have you ever been in an altercation with any of your teachers?
Nothing physical.
Nothing physical, but like, have you ever like gotten into like a heated argument or?
No, not that I can think of. But nothing that would come to blows.
Right?
I mean, I didn't really think that stuff happens these days in schools.
Yeah, like I've never gotten into an argument or a heated argument with a teacher.
Yeah.
And especially like when I was like 14 or 15, I can't even imagine. And like, I guess because the teacher is young-ish,
Yeah.
38, maybe the student thought that they had like a rapport, or maybe he just, I don't know, didn't like him or didn't like what he was teaching or whatever it was. But like, whatever the reason, like seriously, how many like repressed anger issues do you have to have to
Take
like
it
how
out
much
on.
stress? And like teachers are under an unbelievable amount of stress. Like
True.
I sympathize with the amount of work they have to do, the amount of unpaid work they have to do.
Yep.
I've heard lots of horror stories from friends of mine that are teachers in Japan. So like I get it, but this is maybe the time we need to like step back and think about therapy.
Yeah, you might need some help.
Cause that's just that's insane. Can you imagine seeing your teacher wailing on another kid? I don't know what I would do. I wouldn't feel safe in that
No,
class.
it'd freak me out. I want to know what he said. I wonder which character
I
it
want to
was.
know. Yeah, I'm like, okay, if he was saying that he was like obese, maybe what is the guy from Dragon Ball? Majin Buu, the like pink.
Yeah, that's right.
He's
Because I'm
like the
trying to
only
think
one I can
who's
think
the
of.
big, and the only other one I can think of, and I don't think kids like 14, 15 would be talking about Totoro because he's quite big and round.
Well,
But it's a whole different, yeah.
That's wholesome.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
A nice, I don't know what the latest anime thing is, so I don't know, but I'm very curious as to. And I'm sure there must have been more to the lead up because
Well, yeah, it
I
hadn't
don't think you
happened.
just suddenly snap. There was probably a lot going on.
Kids can be dicks though
Yes,
too,
they
man.
can.
Like, and especially
Teenagers
like
especially.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I'm also thinking it wasn't just him, that one kid that's probably giving him some crap.
Yeah, I could see.
And then it was time to roll. Ding ding. Got the moves.
I mean, like bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah.
Damn.
Smack down.
Yeah. Okay. Look, if you're an educator out there, don't hit your kids.
I'm hitting the kids.
Just take a step back.
Mhm.
If you need to like figure yourself out, remove yourself from the situation.
I'm sure my brother has some stories from a sister Pauline.
Well, Catholic schools notwithstanding,
Anyway, she's not around anymore. But moving on from the smackdown.
It makes it sound like you had something to do with her not being around anymore. We took care of her.
She's sleeping well now.
So, in other national news, in a move that just sort of is the exemplary, defining example of why we can't have nice things. This is from the Japan Times. Tourists banned from private alleys in Kyoto's geisha district.
Yes,
You ever been to the geisha district in Kyoto?
Long time ago. I haven't been to Kyoto for a while, so yeah.
Did you see any Michael or Geiko?
Didn't, because it was always like, even then it's like a timing thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But they're these very narrow alleyways.
Yeah,
They're quite
yeah.
lovely. They're very picturesque.
Mhm.
I haven't been in a very long time either, so I can only imagine how wildly crowded they must be now.
Yeah.
But the Kyoto residents have long expressed frustration with tourists, especially in the city's Gion district, which is home to tea houses where geiko, so Michael and geisha, perform. In December, the council decided to tackle the issue, saying that their neighborhood is not a theme park, and they're banning tourists because of the horrible behavior that tourists were engaging in. People were like putting like cigarette butts in like the collars of like the girls.
That's just wrong, man.
Just treating them like a spectacle and not like a profession that needs to be respected. I mean, it's a very drastic move, but considering the over like tourism of Kyoto,
Yep.
like here's the thing. So I understand banning visitors.
Yeah.
I understand it for sure. And while it's sad, obviously, because like there are beautiful places to walk around in. And they can still walk around like in the Gion area, just not in the like tea house area.
Yeah.
But it just makes me really sad that it had to come to this.
That's just, again, another example of like, a few bad eggs just, coming in
and ruining it for the rest. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks. This is why we can't have nice things.
So is that like when they say like, is that for people just outside of Kyoto in general, or just foreign tourists?
So that's what I was curious about as well,
Mm.
because it just says visitors.
Yeah, yeah.
So my question is, how are they gonna
Yeah.
differentiate between the locals?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm assuming if you're a local resident of Kyoto,
Yeah.
you don't really have much business being in the tea house district unless you're like a
Unless you're a
client.
geisha.
Unless you're a
Yeah,
geisha or a client.
yeah.
So like maybe they're gonna, I don't know, issue passes to customers
Mm.
that go in there or something. Because how are they gonna police it? Was
Yeah,
my
that's what I was
biggest
thinking as well.
concern. Because there's a similar, in the similar vein of trying to control tourism, Osaka is considering putting a charging foreign visitors a fee, a tourist fee, to come into Osaka to help with over touristing. Now, have you been to Osaka recently?
No, exactly. Again, haven't been there for a while. So
I went
usually I
there.
always went to, it's like when I was traveling a lot, I'd
Mhm.
always fly into Kansai.
Ah, yeah.
Maybe in my earlier days traveling here, I used to spend more time there. But
Yeah.
yeah, recently not so much.
I went there last year.
Yeah.
And I was shocked at the amount of people.
Yeah.
It was like, it was insane. And it was just a regular, it wasn't even like a holiday or like a busy time of year.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's just me going to visit my friend Lauren and just massively packed with people
Yeah.
around the station. So I understand why they're considering
Mhm.
this entry fee.
Yeah.
But I mean, the levy is also going to be, this fee is going to be separate from the lodging tax that's already in place for both domestic and international tourists. My question is, though, how are they going to differentiate between the tourists and the like residents of
Yeah.
Japan?
Yeah. And yeah, when would they be charging this tax? Because isn't
Exactly,
there
like-
already like an entry fee, like when you come into, is it like it's in your airfare possibly when you?
Yeah, so I'm like, how are they going to be charging this fee? Where are they
Mm.
going to be charging it? And also, how are they going to tell who's the tourist and who's not? Because like, if you or me were to go to Osaka,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we're residents of Japan, so we're
Mhm.
not technically like international inbound tourists.
Right.
So I'm very confused as to how they're going to levy this fee. Like, are they going to make everybody who stops at Osaka station
Right.
pay like 100 yen or whatever?
Mm.
How much are they proposing for this? It wasn't. It's not a very expensive fee. I think it was probably going to be like, I don't know,
Doesn't actually say it
because they
here.
already imposed an accommodation tax of 100 yen to 300 yen, and I think that they were going to be about the same amount,
Yeah.
100 to 300 yen, which is like $1, $3.
Not too much, really.
Yeah, it's really not a lot, but like I have questions about how this system
Yeah,
is going to
how
be
you gonna do it?
implemented.
So they still haven't actually come around and said we're doing it. It's still
It's still just a proposal.
mm,
What do you think?
well, nothing against it, because I know like they've done a similar thing with which probably easier for them to do it with Miyajima,
Mhm.
but that's an island. You kind
Yeah.
of need to.
Have you been to
there.
Miyajima since they've implemented the tax?
Yes, I have.
Did you pay the tax?
Yeah, because they've just got a separate little thing for the line before you get onto the ferry,
Mhm.
and yeah, you just have to
When-
buy like an extra ticket.
When was this that you did this?
I think it was like just after it was implemented, which
really?
was, I believe it was in October, or was it the end of October?
do
Somewhere
you-
around.
Do you have like your IC card on your phone?
No,
No.
I've just got a card.
So here's the thing. I went after they implemented this tax thing.
Yeah.
And my IC card is on my phone. So I usually just tap and go, right?
Yeah.
And I walk up to the ferry
Mhm.
terminal and I was like, I don't know where I'm supposed to pay this fee. Nobody's telling me I have to pay this fee.
Yeah.
So I just sort of tapped on and tapped off.
Well, yeah, you can't really just. Yeah, it's another thing. I guess if you don't pay it, you don't
So
pay
I was
it.
like, did I? Because I was like, maybe is the fee part of the ferry fee, maybe? And like, nobody stopped me.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything to me. So I tapped on and tapped off as usual. So
Okay. When I went, they actually had people pointing people to go
there was
to.
like a lady there, but she
Yeah.
didn't say nothing to me. So I was like, all right, tap.
Maybe she recognized you.
Maybe she's seen me on TV.
So, no, she's been around.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I evaded paying my fee or not.
Yeah.
I was very confused because nobody was paying me any mind. So kind of didn't want to ask. I could have asked. I know I could have asked, but I was like,
you're admitting it now.
I know. I'm sorry. I'll pay extra next time I go. Yeah.
Fair enough.
And like, I agree that it's a necessary step. However, I think if the fee is just like 100 yen, I don't think it's going to really stop over tourism that much.
Yeah, like
It's just 100 yen.
most people are going to be coming anyway, and it's just like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Right?
I don't know where they're paying it, how they're paying it.
I don't think it really discourages, you know, like if you really want to like help over tourism, I think what you would have to do, for example, have you ever been to Kiyomizu Temple in Kyoto?
Yes.
Have you?
It was a long time
Was it
ago.
really crowded when you went or not?
No, back then, like, Kyoto was still, like, kind of crowded, but nothing like these days.
When I went for the first time in a while, it was, like, just choked with people.
Right.
And I think if you want to really combat that, you have to basically break it up into time slots.
Mhm.
You know, like, you make your reservation for, like, 10 a.m. to 11 or something, and you have a
Mhm.
set amount of people. And I think that's really the only way that you can. I mean, it's not realistic, obviously, but it's probably one of the better ways to combat over tourism.
Yeah.
It's just wild.
Again, I don't know how they can do it.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how they do that.
Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Just 100 yen.
moving on from over tourism, geishas, and Osaka wanting the cash. What do we got next?
Local news?
Local news? No, actually, before we got that, we got the politicians like to party.
Yeah, politicians like to party. This is a little bit of old news at this point, but we have a lot of lovely infographics that we can use for this. So I'm very excited
I'll
to
make sure I
talk
put those
about
up.
it. There's a really great article on Tokyo Weekender about it. So, Ante, when you think of multiculturalism and diversity, what comes to mind?
Multicultural. I think of fruit salad.
Fruit salad.
That just came to my head, yeah.
Could you explain?
No, literally fruit salad. A whole bunch of different fruit.
So if you were to throw a party celebrating and talking about multiculturalism and diversity, what would you do? Would you invite speakers or have fruit salad?
Fruit salad and strippers.
Well, that's exactly what the LDP, the Liberal Democratic Party, the ruling party of Japan, that's what they thought.
I was kidding, but hey, go on.
That's what they thought. So the Wakayama Prefectural Association of the Liberal Democratic Party, which is basically, it's been the ruling party in Japan since, after World War II until now, with the exception of a few years.
It's been a while.
And while their name says liberal, they are quite conservative. It's a very weird kind of thing. So the Liberal Democratic Party, the Wakayama Prefectural Association of the LDP, recently sparked public criticism, resulting in resignations as it featured exotic dancers performing for members of the party's youth bureau and local politicians from the Kinki region. Kinki.
Right. So can you blame them then if they're coming from that region?
So they held an event about multiculturalism.
Yep.
40 people were in attendance. And they had 5 female dancers that are reported to belong to the Osaka and Kyoto-based glamour dancers group, dressed in revealing outfits and receiving tips from attendees mouth to mouth.
Okay.
As in, they would put the money, the men would put the money in their mouths, and the women would have to retrieve it with their mouths.
I'm guessing these aren't some, like, handsome young guys too. Like,
No.
Right?
No. So this came to light because, in the age of smartphones, did they really think nobody was going to be filming?
Yeah.
Nobody was going to be taking pictures. Did they really think they were going to get away with this? Well, apparently, that's what Yasutaka Nakasone, the acting head of the bureau and grandson of former prime minister and president of LDP, Yasuhiro Nakasone, who was also no stranger to scandal, he thought that, it was going to be fine. When the press asked this group, well, what kind of dancing did these dancers do?
Yeah.
He said, well, I think it was called gogo dancing, which, gogo dancers. Yeah. And I'm like,
hang on.
what does this have to do with multiculturalism and diversity?
Depends on the background of the dancers.
So, this is some quotes from the former Youth Bureau Chief Tetsuya Kawabata, who said, "Throughout this fiscal year, we have been aiming to hold meetings where the theme of diversity is taken seriously, not just in words, but also in actions.
Meaning dancers.
To ensure that attention is paid to those who are living different lifestyles or working hard in various professions."
Okay.
Taking various factors into account, we decided to invite the aforementioned dancers. However, the excitement that ensued, particularly toward the end of the social gathering, exceeded my expectations. Looking back, I believe I should have been more cautious in my selection, and I am reflecting on this.
Nice to know he's reflecting.
In what universe did you not expect that at a party with alcohol and scantily clad beautiful women dancing, in what universe did you not expect that things were going to get out of hand?
Yeah.
I mean, this is the ruling party.
Right.
And they have had not one, this is not the only scandal they've had this year. They have had multiple scandals this year. And yet somehow they're still in power.
They know how to party.
They really do know how to party.
Is that why they're the ruling party?
Because they know how to party?
Yeah. Oh, God.
It's just really, it's baffling.
Who's paying for these girls too, by the way? Is this like a taxpayer thing?
Well, here's the thing. That was another really great point that was brought up is they were like, "Oh, we didn't use any of the party funds to fund this event." No, not at all.
Where are these dancing dollars coming from?
Call bullshit. Obviously, it was funded by the party. Obviously.
Yeah.
This is what you're using my tax money for. Exotic dancers. Pay for that on your own time. I got nothing against exotic dancers. Lovely. Great. But you know what? Not at an event that's supposedly for the youth bureau of the Wakayama Prefectural LDP.
Get that youth into the dancing. That's what it is. I don't know.
So we have a bunch of photos of the supposed passing of the money between the old man and the dancer. Really lovely illustrations that were their screen caps from Japanese news.
I'll make sure I put those up. Yeah.
And they have actual photos and videos of the event, which they have sort of freeze framed as they have the guy talking about it, being like, "Well, I don't remember this specific event that you were talking about, and this specific instance in which I was touching and or groping and or dancing with these ladies." While there's literally photographic proof. So politicians are scum, no matter where you are.
I don't remember that exact time. Because we probably do it every week. But
because I was probably very drunk. Yeah.
No, just sitting in the corner sipping some tea. I don't think so.
And they had quotes from like other participants who were like, "Well, we knew it was kind of getting out of hand. We probably should have stopped it, but we didn't."
Oh, well, you just pass that border and it's like, we can't go back now.
Gone too far.
That's it. Crank the music.
Can you? This is.
Yeah.
The ruling party. They run the government. Nitwits.
I just keep hearing party.
I mean.
Yeah.
The worst part is that I can't even vote. I don't have the right to vote because I'm not a citizen, right?
Yeah.
We can't even vote to get these people out of office. They're just willy-nilly spending their money on exotic dancers.
It's definitely taxpayer money. 100%.
Very depressing national news. But why don't we move on to local news?
Let's move on to the local news in Hiroshima. Poo from above. The shit situation. Wings and warriors. How'd you think of that? It was pretty good. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, not bad.
This news comes from
we've got
very
this one.
Trusted local news source.
Get Hiroshima.
Get Hiroshima.
Happy to say, I believe a friend of the channel.
Friend of the pod.
Yeah.
Get Hiroshima, be more than just a tourist.
Exactly. So, moving on to this crappy story, which I don't mean in that way.
How many puns can we throw in?
I don't know, man. We can keep going. Anyway, Sanfrecce Hiroshima are facing an unforeseen problem at their new Edion Peace Wing Stadium home. What is the problem? Have you been there recently?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I was in a video there.
That's right. I remember.
I got to stand on the pitch. So for people who don't know, ᴑ괜 Hiroshima is the football team, the soccer team of Hiroshima, and they have a brand new stadium.
Yep.
Really beautiful. Spent a lot of money on it.
Mhm.
They really got that construction done.
That was done very, very quickly.
It was like boom.
But it's one of those big open kind of stadiums.
Yes. So it has it's not a dome stadium, so it's like open.
Yeah. So the problem is, though, because it's open, the pigeons, or as I like to sometimes call them, pigiones, they've been coming in, hanging out, just under like the roofs where on top of the seats, and they just, crap all over the seats.
They're like, this is what we think of your soccer stadium.
Take my shit. And
Pigiones.
So, bit of a problem.
Yeah.
So they've come up with an idea.
What's their solution to this? How do you fix a problem like pigeons?
How do you fix a problem like pigeons?
Yeah.
Well, you get a falconer to come in with their hawk and try and scare the crap out of them.
Also, falconry is so cool.
Yeah, it is.
Being a falconer as your profession, I think that's really cool.
That huge glove.
Yeah, the glove and the part.
The cool little helmet that they wear. Or is it? Yeah.
I think falcons are so cool.
Very, very cool.
So fierce.
So that was earlier in the month. Hang on, we're still in March, aren't we?
Yes.
Yes, we are. 6th of March, they had a falconer come in basically to get his hawk just to do the rounds.
Just one hawk?
One hawk, I guess.
Is that all it takes?
Maybe he's got more than that. But so what they are going to do is, throughout this month, and I think a little bit more, is he's going to be coming in once a week to get the hawk to go out and scare the crap out of the pigiones.
The pigiones.
Yeah. So that's hawks getting shit done.
Well, what if the hawk decides he wants to join the pigiones?
In what's doing crap on the seats, or
yeah?
I mean,
where does the hawk?
One bird is okay, but I don't know how many pigeons are.
I love how nobody foresaw this. They were like, "We're just gonna make a big old open stadium."
Yeah. Well, how did the other ones do?
Yeah, I'm like, what did they do at the baseball stadium? Why is this a problem that's like centered at the new location? Because there's a baseball stadium that's it's an open. It's not a domed stadium. So what are they doing there?
I don't know. I'd have to look into that one.
I mean, look, like Mother Nature's gonna Mother Nature. If a bird, if there happens to be, I mean, they have staff there that like upkeep the stadium. Was it like such a massive amount of crap that they were like, there's too much for us to clean. It's too much. We're overpowered.
You know what? I'm guessing so. Maybe. I don't know.
It's quite interesting because I never really thought about it before.
No, exactly. That's why when I came across the story, thanks Hiroshima for that one again. I was like, this is interesting.
Never really thought about it.
Bringing in the big guns, the birds of prey.
But just one. I feel like they should have like a fleet of hawks.
That would be cool.
That would be very cool. You get all the falconers in Hiroshima to come together, creating this elite team of anti-pigiones.
Oh, wow. It'd be like Top Gun for hawks.
Yeah, it'd be very cool. I would watch that instead of the football game.
Right.
I'm more interested in that. We're going to have to keep an eye on the story.
That's it. Getting shit done.
Getting shit done.
Anyway.
Speaking of birds.
Yes.
Have you ever done laundry and you hang it outside and then when it's dry, you go to take it in and you realize that you have less hangers than when you started with?
No.
This happened to me the other day.
Okay.
So I had hung my laundry outside because it was the one nice day we've had in March. We haven't had a lot. And I was going to bring in my clothes and very weirdly, one of my shirts was on the ground, but there was no hanger from which it fell. And another one of my shirts was very askew, as if it had been pushed.
Yeah.
And I was very puzzled as to why this happened. And my boyfriend goes, "Oh, crow took it."
Just said it like that.
Yeah. As if it was the most obvious thing in the world. And I said, "What do you mean a crow took it?" And he said, "Oh, crows, they take wire hangers because they use them for their nests." And I've never had this happen to me in the 5 years that I've lived in my apartment. And I love crows. I love crows. I've never done anything, never chased them
They're
away.
very smart birds.
Yeah, I've never done anything mean to them because I love them and I know that if I do anything bad, they're gonna remember it. So I've always been very kind to crows, which is why I was like, why are they picking on me?
Yeah.
So I looked into this, and apparently from the months of March to May is when crows nest.
Yep.
And crows are extremely smart, like you said, and they will steal wire hangers because they can bend them and shape them into like a sturdy structure to make their nests. And so if you put your laundry out during the months of just March to May, if you have a plastic hanger, they won't take it.
Oh,
If you
okay.
have a wooden hanger, they won't take it. They need those the really thin wire hangers like you get from like dry cleaners and stuff.
Yeah.
They will push the shirt off of the hanger and take the hanger.
Smart asses.
And they tried to get one of my button-down shirts, but because it was buttoned onto the thing, they couldn't get the shirt off of it. So there's a bunch of like, you can see impressions from their beak from where they were trying to get at it.
Yeah.
So if you are in Japan and if you don't have hay fever so you can hang your clothes outside to dry them, make sure you don't use wire hangers from the months of March to May because they will get stolen by a crow. And also don't ever be mean to a crow. They will remember. Just always be nice to them.
They will remember.
And if you happen to get your wire hanger stolen, just think about how you are contributing to the future of little baby crows and their little nests. Baby crows are really cute. You ever seen one?
No, actually, I probably have, but don't recall it.
I saw one in the wild, and I had my earbuds in, and I remember hearing this very loud cawing, and I was like, "What is going?" I was on my bike. I was like, "What is going on?" And like the mama crow was like trying to threaten me because I was like near her baby, but I didn't know.
Ah, okay, yeah.
These little baby crows, they're so cute.
Crows are cool.
I love crows.
Also one of my favorite movies too. The Crow.
The Crow.
The original one, Brandon Lee. But I'm also trying to picture like when they're trying to steal your coat hangers. You reckon they got like one watching, like, come on, man. Like,
they have video footage of people living in like, those like really like skyscraper like apartment complexes. It's like people living on like the really high floors. They have footage of like something like this crow is like taking his time, looking around at which shirt looks like it would be easiest to knock off. So smart.
Nice. And looking around. And
I really hope that they have
like,
motherfucker. Gotcha, sucker.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the first time that's ever happened to me in all of my 17 years of living in Japan.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I like the way your boyfriend's just like, yeah, it was the crows.
He's like, it's crow. I'm like, how do you know this?
Interesting. But last bit of local news. This happened the other day. Another story we got from Get Hiroshima. Again, shout out to you guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Hiroshima.
So, I think it was yesterday that it happened.
Yes, it was.
People that might have been gone to Miyajima, you take a ferry there. One of the ferries ran aground near the Torii Gate.
Which is, I've never heard of that happening. Like, how?
Exactly.
How?
So apparently the story is, I'm not going to read through it, but just from what I read, it's very short. The story. So apparently it happened in the afternoon. On the way to the to Miyajima, one of the alarms went off. They weren't sure what it was. So after everyone's gotten off, they checked it out and didn't let anyone else on. They did like a test run of the ferry by itself. So they weren't on their usual course.
Oh, okay.
But you'd think you'd know, like, we're not on the usual, and we're a little bit close. So yeah, on its way back, it just ran aground. You
would think maybe it was one of those cases where it was like a new boat driver, boat captain. What do you call people who drive boats? Drive?
I always just think captains, because pilots for me.
Do you drive a boat? You don't drive a boat. What do you do? Sail a boat?
Captain a boat?
Maybe it was a new boat.
Which is interesting though, in people that are watching Shogun, the guy they call him pilot. So it's like, it's not really I don't know, man. I'd captain a boat.
Because the captain's like the leader of the boat. And the rest is like the crew. Maybe it was just like a new crew working the boat.
Does it depend on what type of boat it is?
Steering the boat?
Because I think you do drive a boat. When I'm thinking now more like a smaller, like a
cruise boat.
Yeah,
not a cruise boat,
not speedboat, like a
Like
recreational
yeah,
style.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
How do you? I mean, it's good that there were no passengers on board when it happened,
Mhm.
but like, you would think of all the experience that these ferries have shuttling passengers back and forth day in and day out, you
Yep.
would have an idea of where the shallow ground is.
Right?
You would think.
Mm.
One would think. Apparently
So
not.
I don't know. I haven't looked into it any further, but I'm guessing they maybe just had to wait for the tide to come back in. I
Oh no!
hope.
But in the middle of the night, they came and they took the boat away. Is what I heard.
What, they had to drag it,
I think they
or
had to
like
like tow the boat.
it's a big boat.
It
Like,
is a big boat. I think
damn.
they towed the ferry away in the middle of the night. It's not there anymore this morning, but
Like I was like in the night when nobody was looking.
yeah, to hide your shame.
Hide your shame. But yeah, I'll pop a photo up of that one. Actually, you might have seen the
Yeah,
photo.
it's
like,
so weird. It looks
yeah.
like the boat is on wheels.
Yeah, well, you'll see the photo up here. But yeah,
It
it
looks
does
like the
just
boat is
sitting
just
there.
like a weird like car that could turn into a boat.
Yeah,
I can't
right near the
believe.
Tory Gate as well.
I cannot believe that they had this happen.
Yeah, but that's pretty much the news. So, but on the way out, I don't want to make this a habit because the last news episode, the last story was kind of announcing a death.
Yeah.
So we're announcing another death, but a bit of a legend in the anime.
Bit of a legend.
Industry.
Legend of legends.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure a lot of people have heard by now, but Akira Toriyama, who's known for pretty much Dragon Ball, right?
Dragon Ball.
He passed away on March the 1st, aged 68.
Quite young.
Pretty young.
Quite young.
He was an acute hematoma.
Oh.
Yeah. So, what? Yeah, 68. Too young.
Too young.
Big legend, though.
And this really kicked off a global chain of mourners.
Right. It was everywhere on like social media.
Everywhere, yeah. And I saw recently on the news that they're painting a massive like mural for him in some country. I don't remember the country. They're also going to there's talk of a Dragon Ball theme park that's going to be opening in Saudi Arabia for some reason.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
That's odd. Like you think, okay, Japan would do one?
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia.
I don't know. I don't know if it's been finalized, but there's talk. I saw it on the BBC.
Well, that just makes me think, like, yeah, that's like the, apparently they're doing one for Mad Max in Greece. A Mad Max theme park in Greece.
Just like
just not right.
Odd choice, but all right.
But yeah, so another legend from Japan leaves us that's too young.
Did you watch Dragon Ball when you were a kid?
I watched a little bit when I was a kid, but then it was one of those where I wanted to get back into, and then I'm daunted by the amount of episodes that there are.
There's a lot.
It's kind of like One Piece, and it was like,
there's a lot.
I don't know where I'm going to, and there's not just like the one, right?
Yeah. There's like
a few different variations of it.
Yeah.
And I think he was working on a new one, designing some characters.
They had a bunch of films that have been coming out.
I think there's a talk of a new series that he was working on as well. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but
Gone too soon.
Exactly.
Because Dragon Ball was probably one of the first anime that I was exposed to.
Mhm.
They had it on in the afternoon block of like, it was Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
So I think it was like after, I can't remember which came first. I think Sailor Moon came first and then Dragon Ball aired.
Yeah.
But they had like edited it very heavily because there's a lot of blood in Dragon Ball.
Okay.
And they had edited it so that there's like no blood. So they'll be looking at their hand, which is supposed to be bloody, but there's no blood, so they're just looking at their hand. This is like back in the days of very censored anime being shown in the US, like dubbed.
Yeah, because they didn't.
Dubbed to hell.
Some of the stuff that they had here, like I remember the first time. This is not one of his, but first time I saw like the '80s Fist of the North Star, and knowing it's like kids were watching this, like there's blood, heads exploding. You know the line, "Omae wa mo shinderu." Like, yeah, man.
So I mean, it was just one of those shows though where I was like this is what everybody thinks anime is.
Yeah.
You know, like the big eyes, the wacky characteristic, like the weird movements, like all of that was very much like sort of cemented, and everybody was like, oh, like anime is so violent, this, that, and the other. Like it means about fighting.
Yeah.
But like, have you heard the the actual like Japanese like voice actress that does like Goku's voice.
Yes, yeah.
It is so different from the dub.
Yeah.
The dub is this very like man's man voice, but the actual Goku voice is really like up here. And you're like, wait, what? How? Who? Huh? And it makes the character so much more goofy and fun. And I was like, oh, I didn't know he was like a kind of a himbo.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So like it kind of just threw me the first time I actually heard it. But
that's like me. I usually try to watch anime like the subtitles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes I find with the English dubs, it's either like too overacted or...
It feels a bit weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Sad to see him go. And definitely a legacy left because so many people, even that probably haven't watched Dragon Ball, they know
about it.
We know it.
Yeah.
And I think they did do a live action movie.
They did.
I never saw it, but I heard.
That's all you should probably say about it because
we'll leave it at that.
The only I didn't see it, but I saw the CinemaSins take on it. It's so good because it's the most ridiculous wackadoodle movie where I'm like, who? It's like they watched one episode of Dragon Ball, smoked a lot of crack, and they were like, I know what we should do. Because it's like so, like the main character is a white guy. Yeah. It's like a college student kind of vibe.
Yeah, I only saw pictures and then maybe the trailer a long time ago. And I was just like, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah, like the first Mario Brothers movie vibes.
Oh,
what were you thinking? So, I mean, definitely, like this year we've lost quite a few legends already.
And still pretty early in the year, so let's kind of let's try and cap it at that.
Yeah, let's try and cap it at that.
Hopefully next news episode I won't be announcing or going through an obituary.
Always good to end on a high note.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
But if you enjoyed this news episode, like, comment, subscribe. You can send us an email, thewaitingroomjpn@gmail.com.
Yep, or contact us or follow us on Instagram at thewaitingroomjpn. So yeah, and subscribe, because it helps us out heaps. We're at 69 subs now. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
My goal is 100 by the end of the year. That's a small goal, but
it's a good goal.
Yeah.
Good goal. But we really appreciate all the love that we got for our previous news episode. And definitely look forward to doing more of these news episodes. If you have any interesting news that from where you're listening from, any interesting news that you would like us to share, anything, send us a line. We'd love to hear from you.
That'd be a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
Some few interesting stories from overseas. Nice.
From around the world. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
And if you've ever picked a fight with your teacher or called them the name of an anime character and gotten the shit beaten out of you, let us know in the comments.
That's it.
All right. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time on The Waiting Room.
Take it easy, guys.
Bye.
Bye.